Hi, so it's January, it's pruning season for the vineyard. Now I've got to try and make a real dry, boring subject interesting, which I think is impossible. So you're going to have to bear with me on this. We've got a vineyard, it's a small vineyard, it's about 1/4 of an acre, and every January we have to strip it all back to encourage vigorous growth for next year's yield of beautiful grapes, so we can have lots of lovely wine to drink for the following year. Over the past 5 years we've lived here and slowly developing and refurbing the house and gardens. We've been using what works best for us, which is the Double Guyot method, which was named after Monsieur Guyot, who established this method of pruning vines, and it works for us. There's quite a few other ones, but this works for us and I've got in a bit of a rhythm with it. So the next few weekends, that's what we're going to be doing with our lives. Back breaking, cutting our fingers, nipping our fingers with the secateurs, and to get everything cut back, prepped for spring when everything comes to bud. So how do you do the Double Guyot? So the Double Guyot, there we go, Double Guyot, spelled like that I believe. You've got your vine coming out of the ground, and it's got the trunk, a thick trunk. Ours are about 70 years old, our vines, so they've got a big gnarly thick trunk, and then it goes into the crown, which is an angry fist, where all over the decades the previous year's canes have grown out, been cut back, grown out and cut back, and they just develop into this big angry fist. And as you'll see when we get outside, we've got all of last year's growth coming off of them, so you've got many canes with shoots coming off, and it's just a map of craziness. It's like an angry gnome. You can imagine that's his head, the gnome's head and its body, and this crazy hair coming out. Anyway, so what we've got to do is choose 2 canes from the previous year, and we want them pointing to the left and to the right because they're going to run along the support wire of the trellis in the vineyard. It's fairly brutal. When you've selected your 2 canes, so in this case we'll select these 2 here, you cut everything back, you prune everything back. It's really harsh, so everything comes off of these little things, of this angry little vine troll, and it's just left you with 2 canes, one to the left and one to the right. And then on this one, you cut it back again, approximately between 5 and 10 buds back. So if you look along the vine, you'll have these buds growing, ready, and they're going to shoot off as soon as spring comes to grow fruit. And what you're going to do is cut back to between 5 and 10 each side. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then we're going to snip there, and then I'll run out of room here, but if you was going along here, 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you're going to cut back. So you're just left with your angry little vine troll with a severe haircut, and you've just got 2 horns coming out, and you're going to wrap those using, I wrap them round the cables, the support cables, rather than actually tying them in with wire. You can do that, you can tie them in however you wish, and then these are going to grow off next year, and they're going to have little spurs and shoots, and they're going to give us lots of lovely grapes and fruit, like that. That's my bunch of grapes. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out in the garden, and we're going to prune without cutting our fingers off, and get ourselves ready for the new year. See you outside. Hi, so we're in the little vineyard now, and I put a bit of sheeting up behind so it gives you a bit more of a clearer silhouette to the actual vine we're going to be working on. So as we just in the workshop showed you there, we've got the vine, the trunk of the vine, and then you've got the main cordon from last year going out. Don't seem to have one on the right hand side here. And what we want to do is we want to get 2 canes from last year's growth, and because it's the Double Guyot, we need to have one lean into the left and one leaning to the right, and we're going to use that for the growth for this season. So choosing the cane, as we said, we want about 10 mil thick, so this is a good one here, and I can get that to lean to the left, and this one here is naturally going out that way and it's off to the right. So once you've established which ones you're going to use, actually this one's a bit strong, I'm going to go for this one here. So once you've established which two you're going to use, I'm going to use this one and this one, we can hack back everything else. So without further ado, we're going to need some sharper secateurs. We're just hacking back everything we don't want. Getting a right tangle with this. And this one here, look at that, I've already messed around with this here. And then let's just strip all of these back. Not sure if you can see me on the camera. Makes great TV, huh? And here we go. Oh, here comes Chester, the helpful, our little helper. You okay, Chester? You all right? Oh, you like that, do you? Yeah? Okay. So, it's moving all of this away, going out, cutting off. No, Chester. And then, here we go. He's got himself a stick. He's gone off there. He's happy now, pretending to be a dog. Oh. Okay. So, as you can see now, it's fairly brutal. We've stripped everything back, okay? And now we've got the old buds here, and they recommend that you have 10 of these buds. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm just going to go to 7 on this. So I'm cutting off at this point here 7. They recommend about 10, but I reckon that would be enough for this side. And then equalise how we can up here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going 7 again. So we've cut that down. And you can see there's not much left to that now. And you know, you have to be careful because I've just, as you can see, nipped my finger already, and it's the perils of these jobs. You're constantly nipping your fingers. So plasters, secateurs, and try not to swear too much. Right then, now we've got the cane, and we're going into the Double Guyot. You twist it round, the supports, so it's controlled growth along the vines. And there we go. You can use wires sometimes if they're not supported that well. You use wires and put them round, which is good. But I did do that to start with, and then over time I didn't really need them, and I realised that they just look after themselves. Yuck. Call an ambulance. So that is your Double Guyot. Pretty much sorted. Pretty aggressive. And now I've just got to go along and do about 380 more of them. So I hope that helps. You know, that's the way I do it. There's plenty of ways to do it, I'm sure, but this works for me and it gives me good growth. So I'm happy with that. Cool, have a good day, and I'll catch up with you later. Cheers, bye.